What is good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another One Chunk at a Time Iron Man number 32.5. Now, 32.5, that's a little weird. This episode will not be a traditional progress video upload. Instead, it will be a video explaining my journey at Abyssal Sire, my techniques that I've learned along the way, and how I have gone from a 40% kill rate up until like a 98% kill rate at Abyssal Sire. I had been told that it's pretty interesting, the techniques and the strategies that I've come up with to become so consistent at Abyssal Sire with the gear that I have, primarily not having Ancients. So I figured I'd share with the world my findings, and hopefully this will teach somebody a little bit of something about Abyssal Sire, as it can be a pretty frustrating boss, but if you know what you're doing, you can be very, very consistent with it. Now, I know with max gear, it's literally like a 1 minute kill time, but for most people who don't have max gear, maybe some of these tips and tricks will be helpful, and it might be just interesting to hear how I have become so successful at such a difficult boss with the gear and point in the account that I have. Before we get into it, like the video. I know this is a little bit different, but like the video. Maybe this will help some people along the way. Subscribe if you're new. Follow the Twitch. We are getting, I know I've said this before, but Twitch doesn't want to give me my partner, but we are insanely close to getting partner, I'd say. I've been streaming very consistently over on Twitch, so if you want to see me do these live, and a very big spoiler alert as well, feel free to follow me on Twitch as well. Come hang out when we go live. I love you all. Enjoy my findings, and hopefully you will learn a thing or two along the way. Let's start out with the first struggle of Sire, and that is even before we step foot into the boss room. Most of you know there are two ways of getting to Abyssal Sire. The first one, and 99.999% of people use, is fairy rings. You can simply go to a fairy ring and teleport into the Abyssal Sire area, but with a chunk account, we don't have that luxury. So the other way that you can have access to the Abyssal Sire is by simply running into the wilderness with all of your gear, running over to the Mage of Zamorak, having him teleport you down there. And there you go. You are now in the Abyss, and you can run to the southern part of the Abyss to enter that little cove right there. The worst part about this, along with, not being, having to skull every single time you go in here, running through the wilderness with all of your great gear, is the fact that every single time you walk in here, it automatically, 100% of the time, no doubt about it, drains your prayer to zero. So that is automatically 2/3 or 3/4 of a prayer pot that I have to sip every single time I come down here just to get prayer back. It's a little bit frustrating. I know that I can wear abyssal bracelets to get rid of the skull. It honestly hasn't been that big of an issue. We've only had one PK attempt on me so far, which I'm counting my blessing to feel like that's pretty good to begin with. Most of you know that to do Sire very efficiently, you need to have Ancients on your account. Because when you have Ancients, you can simply use shadow spells to put him to sleep to be able to kill the vents. Now, for those of you who don't know, there are these 4 vents around here that you need to bring to 0 HP before you can move into Phase 2 of Abyssal Sire. Well, as you guessed it, I do not have Ancients on my account, as most of you know. In fact, I'm very far away from getting them. So there must be another way that we can, hurt him, or put him to sleep so that we can kill the vents. Luckily, Jagex did put something into their spaghetti code that allows people without Ancients on their account to put Sire to sleep so that we can kill the vents. The way that you do this is while he's asleep, you can wake him up and start to attack him. And to put him to sleep, you need to deal 75 damage. Unluckily, we just hit a 25 there. Anything that you do on that first hit doesn't count. So if I were to stand here and just keep hitting him, I would have to run around because he will keep spawning these minions, and after a while, I will take an enormous amount of damage. Let's see what happens if I stay here for 30 seconds, just hitting him over and over again. Even if I eat up, it's still going to hurt me a lot. Even if I was praying, even though I'm not right now, it's still going to hurt a lot and be a big struggle because you will hit a lot of zeros here. So as you can see, the damage accumulates very quickly and I can get overwhelmed, and I'm probably going to die if I stay here any longer. I think this strat that I use to get around that part right there, where I will get overwhelmed in a matter of seconds, is an age-old strategy at Abyssal Sire. So as you can see, I do have this very fine line marked up at Abyssal Sire. So if I stand on this line, attack him, and then run back, he can't hit me anymore. So if I run up, attack him, run back, he'll throw a spawn at me, but he can't hit me when I stand on this line. I believe that technically this line is his aggro line, where he'll aggro you at. And if you stand on this line, he cannot hit me. I could stand here for the next 45 minutes, and he will not send anything my way. The second I move over that line, he will throw a spawn at me. I can come back, kill the spawn, and rinse and repeat. So like I said, we need to do this for a very long time to get him down to that 75 under HP. Of course, we hit the 25 first, so let's go ahead and damage him enough. You can sneak in 2 hits if he spawns one of his minions like that. You can sneak in 2 hits quickly. Doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 ratio. So here we go again. He sends his spawn. I run back. I can come out, throw another hit, and I can get 2 for the price of 1 right there. Now, if I don't kill the spawn, like it looks like I didn't right there, after 3 hits, it will turn into a Scion. Now, at this point, I have 2 options. Either I can face tank it to kill it, or I can run all the way behind here. Sometimes I have to even run all the way back there. The Scion will follow me for a while. If he follows me this way, I'll run behind here. And after a couple of seconds, he will simply despawn like he did like that, and then I just run back, rinse and repeat. The one other thing that I do want to show is the pool method as well. Now, he can also spawn pools, and if you click 2 tiles away, you can avoid the pools completely and still get 2 hits like I did right there. I'll try to see if I can get another one to show. So I go out, click on him, he spawns the pool, I go out, again, 2 tiles away, and I can kill him, and there we go. There he is asleep for the first time. Now, you might think, okay, this is a great time to start killing the vents in whatever order. I would argue against that. I would say that there needs to be a very specific way that you kill the vents in order. And let me get to that momentarily. Now that I've wasted all of the time of the vents being down, I'll have to put them down again and show you. Okay, the vents are down again. This vent is always the first vent that I kill, and it is for a very specific reason. So I'll kill this vent first because this is not a vent that you can safe spot. But this vent up here, you can safe spot. So if I were to kill that vent and then come up here to try to kill the vent with the time remaining, even if I don't kill it like I didn't right there, I can stand in this spot to what my stream has so endearingly called cheese it. So we're cheesing the vent right now because I can literally stand in this spot completely safe from both tentacles, and they will not be able to hit me, and I can stand here, hit this vent all the way down. Couple unfortunate things about this method is the max that you can hit is a 3. Killing them is very slow, can take up to 10 minutes at sometimes. That's why I have a crossbow as well. I can just long range it too if I don't want to waste casts, so we can sit here for the next 4 or 5 minutes to kill it. I'll typically do this when it has like 10 HP left, and I just want to finish it out. So I don't have to put it to sleep again, because this thing will very likely fully reheal by the time I get the Sire asleep again. So I'll sit here, hit it down, and then just sit here and wait. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But typically I don't do it when it has that high of HP. I think it was 4/5 HP full. I'll typically do it when it's 1/5 HP full or somewhere in that range. All right, and about 3 minutes later, there is the vent fully cheesed. It's dead, and we can continue on. The reason why I saved that one for last is obviously because if it's close to death, I want to be able to kill it without having to put Sire back to sleep, and it can save a lot of time. Now, I do the same method for these two as well. This top one cannot be cheesed from that square, but I can hit this respiratory system from here, completely safe from the tentacles once again. Let me show you up here. We'll walk up to this square, and if we try to attack it, we'll run in and get whipped by the tentacles. There's no way that we can kill it safely in this area. I can even show you again. This is the furthest safe spot from a tentacle. If I step in there, I can attack it. No, I can't. I can't even attack it from there, so that's why we do it that way. Ow. We put Sire to sleep again, and now we are killing the top vent right here. And you might be wondering to yourself, okay, CJ, look at your gear, look at your inventory. If you kill that vent right there, Sire's going to come out, and aren't you going to have to kill it if it comes out because it'll completely respawn all of the vents and HP, stuff like that? If you kill it, if you kill that last vent, that is correct. So this is where things get a little bit weird. So what I do from here, once I have 3/4 of the vents completed, I will start to damage Sire once again. So at this point, my goal is to damage Sire very close, but not all the way down to that 75 damage threshold to put him to sleep again. And I'll show you what I mean. All right, as you can see in the top left corner, his HP is 330 out of 400. If that gets to 325, he will go to sleep. Now at this point, we teleport out. Yes, we teleport out. So we need a little bit of luck here not to get crashed. And to this date, we have not gotten crashed at all at Sire. So I don't know if that's lucky or if Sire is just not as prevalent as it used to be. But we teleport out and completely re-gear. Now this is the gear that I kill Sire with. Phase 2 through Phase 4. Except one item. And you might be wondering, what in the world is this one item, CJ? Well, let me show you. On our first night of investigating Sire, I was doing it on stream, and it's up for debate who the one to tell me officially about this item that would literally, in the words of my grandfather, Swampletics, change everything. It was either Shenanigans, our favorite Pokemon speedrunner, or my boy Dice Tofu. It's still up for debate. Shout out to both of you guys for telling me about this one item. But there is one item that changed everything at Sire. And that one item is the Phoenix Necklace. Now, the Phoenix Necklace has a very special property to it in which if your HP drops below 20%, for me that's 18 or 19 HP, I don't know the exact, it will automatically do two things for you. It will automatically heal you up 1/3 of your total HP, which for me is 29 HP since I'm 99 HP, and it will automatically negate all active attacks in progress. Now, this is extremely important for me because P4 of Sire, it's basically a tank test. That's all P4 is. You need to be able to tank as many minions as possible while dealing as much damage as possible. Now, my best food for the most part is pineapple pizzas. It's 22 HP per pineapple pizza, but every single time I chomp down on a pineapple pizza, a full one, I miss 2 attack cycles. Even if I'm using sharks, I still have to go through this insane tank test where I'll miss so many hits, and I have to actively click on sharks. But we'll get to that in a moment. Now we are back at Sire. I know I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but it'll all make sense soon. Now we're back at Sire, and you're probably wondering, what are we doing now? So we left him at 330 HP. Very luckily, his HP does not regen very quickly, so we can come back here in most of our gear, hit him a couple times, hopefully the first time, put him right to sleep, and come kill this last vent. Now that that vent is asleep, we can fully gear up. I've already chomped down a couple of prayer pot sips. I'll chomp my super defense, attack, and strength, throw on the melee, and I know that I could do my melee boost, like ultimate strength, incredible reflexes for faster kill time here. I typically opt not to, unless I'm going for a PB or something along those lines, because I just want to conserve prayer. I don't have, access to the world load of prayer pots, so we typically just kind of sit back and just toss on melee. One thing that I can do, or that you can do during this time, is the 2-to-1 method. So for every one attack, you can have Sire hit you once. So I'll have to fresh reset this. So Sire hit me, and then I hit him again, and then I shift over here, kind of go under him for a second. He hits me once. I hit him twice. Then I move back. I hit him once. He hits me once. I hit him again. Move back over here. It is a very, very common yet easy strategy to use against Sire. Even mains can take that into consideration. So we'll finish him off here. We got to get him below 200 HP to get him to go into phase 3. This is the easiest part of the entire fight. Sometimes I noodle, but that's very rare. There we go. Now he's going to walk over here. Now this is really just the DPS test. This is his healing phase in which he will spawn pools of poison underneath me for a long time. So I just got to keep running back and forth. I bring the Dragon Dagger because we need to get him down to 140 HP. So I'll keep bouncing back and forth here to get him down to that 140 HP, unloading all of my specs. They were complete noodle specs, and now I just have to hope that my whip hits. I have been stalled once or twice on this section because of the whip. Just doesn't want to hit for some reason. But there we go. There is him under 140 HP. You run away so that you don't get hit. And this is the part where Phoenix Necklaces come into play. So if you watch my HP on this bar right here, you can see it ebb and flow. Ow. Along the way. That was a bad step right there. But if you see my HP get too low on that bar, I will automatically heal up wearing these Phoenix Necklaces. So just watch my HP on this side. You'll see as it gets low, it'll hop up right away. I toss on another Phoenix Necklace. Just sit here and attack. You see me running back and forth here. That's so I can shake off the meleeers to save a little bit of HP. And again, the Phoenix Necklace just automatically pushes my HP back up to close to 50 every single time. So I'll get hit a lot. Phoenix Necklaces comes right in. And then I keep bouncing back and forth, making sure to keep those Phoenix Necklaces on. And there we go. There's Sire done. It's really that simple. I was freaking out when I got Sire, thinking that there is no way that I'm going to be able to get consistent kills. But with this method, I have gotten 98% kills. The only thing that can kill me is if I get really unlucky on my hits, like if RNG just doesn't ball out for me and I hit a million zeros in a row. That's the only thing that can kill me here now. With the discovery of the Phoenix Necklace, I haven't lost a kill. I really haven't. Maybe one to my memory. But as you can see, 112 kill count here at Abyssal Sire with my gear, no Ancients, literally wearing a rune chain body. We have 112 kill count here at Abyssal Sire simply because of the Phoenix Necklace. Now, I did this with sharks, caramblons, pizzas, whatever you can possibly think of, and that tank test was literally that, and I lost more than half the time. But these Phoenix Necklaces I will never lose using these Phoenix Necklaces. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, and it is a very valid question, CJ, you need diamonds to make Phoenix Necklaces. How in the world are you going to supply yourself with enough Phoenix Necklaces to do who knows how many kills? People have gone thousands of kills dry at Sire. Well, that is a fantastic question, and let me show you so that I don't get this question a million times, because I already have gotten this question a million times. Remember this place? The place that I wasn't good enough to complete the entirety of? Well, this is how we can constantly supply ourselves with Phoenix Necklaces. Down in the depths of Morel Wreck, there is a shop here. You can trade this guy right here. And he has a stock of 2 uncut diamonds at all time. And they only sell for 300 tackle a piece. Now, that's good for 200. Nearly 200 diamonds, I should say. Nearly 200 diamonds itself right there. That's just some of my leftover tackles. So if we run out of the current diamonds in our bank, we do have an unlimited supply of diamonds that we can buy whenever we need to. Now, if I am really desperate, I can make or buy chaos runes to sell to the shop, get more tackle, and go from there. If you want to peep real quickly right here, I have 700 Phoenix Necklaces in the bank. We are down from about 1,100 Phoenix Necklaces is what I started with. I can use anywhere from 0 to 8 Phoenix Necklaces. I think I've only had one kill that's gone above 8 Phoenix Necklaces on one kill. So it's I'm telling you, It is a very consistent method. And heck, you know what? I'm saying this right now. If you are a hardcore Iron Man and you are doing Sire and you are scared to lose your hardcore status while doing it, use the Phoenix Necklace method. I have done 112 kills at this point. Only about 100 or so have been using the Phoenix Necklace method. I have never died a single time from a Phoenix Necklace not proccing. So if you never want to die at Sire, use Phoenix Necklaces. I'm telling you, it truly might be the most underrated item in the entire game, and one of the least explored items in PvM in the entire game. Now, I know there are a couple of questions that are going to come my way. There are very frequently asked questions by my community that has watched me do this on stream. The first one being, why do I use Slayer Dart rather than God Spells or something along those lines? So I use Slayer Dart because I find it to be more consistent, and on the Slayer task, we get the bonus. If I use the Zami Staff with the Charge and Zamorak Flames, one, I can't auto-cast, so it's pretty annoying. Two, I do have to use Blood Runes, which are significantly more expensive than Death Runes. And third, I think I've just found more consistency with the Slayer Dart over the God Spells. I did use God Spells for quite a while. I just didn't find that consistency that I did with Slayer Dart. And two, probably the more asked question is, when most people were doing this in Trailblazers, they were using Ruby E bolts to get Sire down. Now, that is a solid strategy, but the one thing that you need to remember, on this account, we don't have an Ava's accumulator. And I can hit Sire, and I was using Ruby E bolts at the beginning, and I would hit Sire upwards of 100 times. The vents between putting Sire to sleep and killing the vents, I could use up to 150 bolts on those kills, but I don't have an Ava's accumulator. So every single bolt that went to Sire or went to a vent, I lost 100% of the time. The only bolts that I could ever pick up were the bolts that I used on the spawns and the scions. Every other bolt I used was lost right away. And when I can use upwards of 150 bolts per kill, that's just not a sustainable strategy. So that's why I don't use the Ruby E specs. If I did have an Ava's accumulator, that would likely be the better scenario for me. But since I don't, that's why I use magic, and I find it to be pretty darn quick. A couple other questions I get asked. How many kills an hour can I get? Typically, as long as I'm paying attention, my average kill time is about 16 minutes, so very close to 4 kills an hour. So really not that bad. It's pretty quick overall. I mean, it's probably how fast you can kill Corp. You might be able to kill Corp a little bit faster if you're tryharding, but it's about the speed of killing Corp. I think that's really it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or the comments below. I'll be going through answering every single comment. So I love you guys. I hope this was informative. I hope this wasn't a waste of time for you. And I hope you know that Sire is a very attainable goal on this account and any other chunk account. Hoping that you have Tazar unlocked by the time you get to Sire. Just going to say that. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe if you're new. Follow the Twitch. Come watch me. Help me get partner. Like the video. And I will see you next week for, I promise you, you guys aren't even ready for next video, for one of the most insane videos I've ever put out. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. I love you.